What's up, Power Couples? This is Carlos and Katherine Green of Power Couples Rock, and we're so excited that you all are joining us tonight for Popcorn Conversations. And Popcorn Conversations is that conversation that we have tackling those issues one pop at a time. We've thoroughly enjoyed Popcorn Conversations. And if you remember last week, we had the men's takeover, right, Calvin? Even though I have
Yes,
not
sir.
said it to introduce you guys yet, but we had such a wonderful time. And now, tonight, my beautiful wife is here with me.
I'm back.
She is
Hey,
back. She's so back now.
What's up, power couples, and anyone who's out there that's dating or in a serious relationship, or just all of our supporters out there? We just want to say welcome to Popcorn Conversation. It is Timeless Tuesday.
It is. So we're excited. We've got our popcorn back here to handle those one pop at a time. And guess what I did? I actually put tahini on the popcorn. It's actually really good. I know. I put tahini.
Just butter.
No.
Just butter and a little bit of salt. That's all you need.
I put tahini on it because I wanted to see if it gave it a little bit more spice. It did give it a little bit more spice, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm
You need
excited.
to stop doing ungodly stuff with the popcorn.
But also, I'm so excited that I got my brother and sister on the line with us tonight, too, our co-hosts, all the way from Virginia. Let's give it up for Calvin and Jocelyn Jones. What's up, people?
hey, hello. What's happening? What's happening, Carlos and Katherine Green?
We are excited about being here tonight,
we
too.
are in the place.
We're in the place.
Mhm.
And then our other co-hosts, Alvin and Victoria Parker, are actually at a conference. So they are not able to join us tonight, but we're sending our prayers, our love, our protection to them as well. So thank you all for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, the ladies were in the background last week when the men were out there just hitting on all cylinders. And I just want to say you all had some rich conversation, and we had so many people emailing and texting us and say, when are you gonna do part 2? You got to just wait for it. You got to just wait for it.
We are going to do a part 2, right?
We'll come
Calvin?
back. Yeah, that
Yes.
would be fun because there was some questions that came in afterwards, and we definitely want to be able to address those online. So just wait for it and watch for our email. And if your friends are not subscribed to our channel, please have them subscribe to our channel so they can be notified when we go live.
That's correct.
Yes.
And so then now we get to dive into this week's conversation. And I'm excited about this week's conversation because you all know what day it is. It is election day around the country. And while the candidates are while the country is casting their votes for all of the candidates, we are actually going to dive into the marriage ballot, the debates, the polls, the campaigns, and how to keep your discussions from turning into battles. So we're going to talk about these big questions that pop up in relationships and learn how to win together. So grab your popcorn. Tag your spouse. And drop a Team Us in the chat because tonight we're voting for togetherness.
Yes.
How about that?
How about that? Let's do it.
Is that good?
So drop Team Us in the chat.
Team Us.
Team Us in the chat. Team Us.
Okay.
Team Us.
Team Us.
Team Us.
Team Us.
Team Us. That's good. So we want to actually dive into these questions. And for this conversation, we want you all to participate as well because we are going to see how we answer these questions that we have for, even if you're not married, but if you got a significant other, a spouse, not spouse, a significant other or a boo, somebody like that. And we want to just see what your answers are too in this discussion. Let's make it rich.
Ooh.
So what's the first question, babe? We
Oh,
got?
and I love because we are aligning it with election day, right?
Mhm.
Right, the votes that people are casting, ballots and debates, which we didn't have a lot of debates to watch this time, but we wanted to make sure that we bring that up in the marriage. Our first question of the evening is, we're going to talk about the marriage ballot. Okay. First of all, if your spouse
And no hanging chads.
and no it depends on how old you are, if you remember hanging chads.
Oh, that's just true. Or if you went to a civics class.
That's the question is, if your spouse was running for best teammate in marriage, what would be on their campaign platform? If your spouse was running for best teammate in marriage, what would be on their campaign platform? Who's ready for that one?
I'll start, and because Calvin and Jocelyn are thinking through that. They're processing right now, and then I want people that's viewing and they're on. You all put your answers in there because we want to display them, even for future viewing. We love to display your answers as well. So for me, what would be on my wife's platform? On her, is that what it is?
If your spouse was running for best teammate in marriage, what would be on their campaign platform? So what would be on my campaign platform?
I think what would be on Catherine's campaign platform would be, "I got your back."
Oh,
that's a slogan.
That is right, because she's always had my back, no matter what decisions I've made that may not have been the best for the family, because I'm a risk taker and all of that, but she is always there to kind of pick up the pieces, making sure that I'm feeling supported. I've got words of affirmation to help me. So I believe I got your back.
Oh,
how about that?
Nice.
That was good. Nice.
Okay.
Okay, you making me think.
What do you think, Calvin and Jocelyn, while my wife?
You making me think.
I can see that she got your back. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So what's the next question? No. For me, for Jocelyn, it would be, I had it on the tip of my tongue, but Dad, come back to me. It was just there before I made that joke.
Jocelyn, go ahead.
Dad.
Go ahead. What would your campaign slogan be, Jocelyn?
For Calvin?
Yes.
Yes.
So I think Calvin's campaign slogan would be judge not.
Ooh.
Oh,
I like that.
Yeah.
Why
His
would you say that?
campaigns. Because Calvin has a tendency, one of the reasons Calvin is so lovable and liked by so many people is because he does not judge. Like, he accepts you and loves you right where you are, just as you are, faults and all, understanding nobody's perfect. He's not perfect. He doesn't expect other people to be perfect. So he takes you as you are at face value.
Wow.
You
should have been running in an election. Judge not. I like that. So we have I got your back. We got judge not, Calvin. For Jocelyn.
Okay.
He still came.
Every time it keeps coming, I got stuff, because we actually talked about it, about the campaign, but you kind of put a different twist on it, putting a slogan out there as opposed to bullet points.
No, you go ahead and put your bullet points out there then.
So my bullet points for my spouse, in which is Jocelyn Jones. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. It would be excellent caregiver, excellent woman of God, person of faith, a trustworthy person, a person that loves you unconditional.
Okay. I'm trying to sum all of that up.
I know. I'm like,
she sounds like a Proverbs 31 lady coming on here.
Yes. Yes. Proverbs 31.
Okay.
You were talking so much, I couldn't type it all.
I love
Don't
it.
ask me to repeat it now because it's gonna
Yeah,
change.
at least somebody gave a thumbs up. So I like that.
Yes,
That they're
yeah.
on task with you.
Yeah.
So you have the Proverbs 31 where she's doing all these things for you to serve you. And then Jocelyn is like, judge not. I said, Catherine would be, I got your back. So I'm
Okay.
waiting for you,
But,
Catherine.
but Carlos, right
Any-
before Catherine go, I want to provide a little bit of clarification to that.
Oh, good. Go for it.
Jocelyn is a woman of faith. So forget about what she does for me, but for her zeal and for the love that she has for God.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, that's
So
good.
yeah,
I can see
a servant for him, a disciple for him.
Yeah.
Okay, she is a servant.
Well, I remember when we were at Eusebia a couple of weeks ago, the level of service that you all brought to the table was just unprecedented. You all were leading a small group, but then you were also serving in the capacity of making sure things were set up and broken down between all of the sessions that we had. And you were checking in on people to see if they needed any additional assistance. So I can see that. And just from the first day that we met you all, you've always had a servant's heart, servant's attitude. So I can see that being on the campaign platform.
Yes.
I'm glad you confirmed that, because we didn't need your no validation, but thank you. No, I'm just messing.
Wow.
Well, don't come for my husband unless he see it for you. And he didn't see it for you. Because
He said, don't come for my husband.
But Carlos, thank you so much, because we don't really, Catherine, we're gonna get to you. We don't do it for award. We do it because we see where it's a need, and we just want to serve.
Yeah.
We're people that want to serve and be all that God has called us to be.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree with you there too. And then even with Black Diamond Marriages, you always are availing yourselves and extending yourselves in that space. And you not only speak it with your words, but your actions come through as well, where you're sponsoring couples and you're making sure that they got what they need in order to show up well. And so I just want to make sure that not only are you saying it, but I've got receipts to show how well Jocelyn shows up and you show up, Calvin. So thank you.
Thank you.
Can I go now, Calvin?
Yes, you got my permission. This is your show.
Well, I have several words that come to mind. I'm going to put this on the screen so that people can see what the question is. And we want you all to respond in the chat to let us know if your spouse was running for best teammate in marriage, what would be on their campaign platform? And there are three things that come to mind, if I can remember them all. One is because my husband is always positive around here, no matter what. His words are, let's go. And then in anything we do, let's go. The other one is, we got this. We got this.
Yes.
And no matter what we go through, or if we're doing a workshop, seminar, and I get very antsy about things. I want things to be done weeks in advance. And then sometimes the ideas don't come close enough as I want them to come. And I get antsy. He said,
far enough in
far
advance
enough,
so that we can plan them.
And he'll be like, we got this. We got this. And so that's two things. I said three. I cannot think of that third one. But
you're doing a Calvin, huh?
I know. Only because you didn't let me go when I wanted to.
Right.
And he came for your husband, so you had to come to the defense. So.
Exactly.
He came for it. But yeah, he is such a positive. I could just see campaign signs everywhere with that on it, and his face just smiling and grinning. Let's go. Or we rock. That's what it. That's the other rock. And
always on 10.
That right there. Always on 10.
He's just such a joy to be around, and he'll bring you up when you're really down. And so I'm grateful for that, because that that helps in our relationship.
Good.
Yeah. Well, great. We let me see if we have anybody that responded.
Yes.
Oh, somebody. Oh, they just saying good evening, everyone.
And Calvin got jokes tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, Alvin.
Good. Oh, I
Yeah.
like this one. This
You
slogan.
and me against the world. Okay.
Yes.
And me
You can put that up there.
You and me against the world.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Marcus, yeah.
Let's go. You and me against the world. That's
Absolutely.
the campaign slogan on the platform.
And if you don't have a campaign slogan, you should go and think about that. Write this question down so you can develop this with your significant other or spouse. Remember, we're just diving into this tonight because we want to be able to want you to relate it to what's happening in today's world. Our marriage can be related to this election process that's going on. So that was the first one, the marriage ballot. What do we have for number 2?
Right before we go to number 2,
Sure.
I want to bring up what the topic was at Eusebia, what the slogan for this year. In our marriages, we have become fearless.
Yes.
We are the fearless couples. We are the fearless couples, if you will. Yes.
We are.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I
Okay.
like that because that fearless really represents our courageousness in our marriage, and knowing that God has undergirded us and has our backs in the space so we can actually move forward in the things that God has ordained for us in our lives. And be comfortable that he does have our backs and our fronts and our sides. And so I really appreciate that being fearless.
Yeah, we've been walking in. Go ahead.
It kind of tied into, the whole election theme. Like, when you think about an election, a lot of times what people don't really take into full consideration is your one vote could make the difference that will affect not just you, but so many others for years to come. But when you are fearless, you don't vote based on what you see around you. You don't vote based on who you like, or if somebody's going to be mad at you for how you vote. You vote based on what you know and what you believe to be right, even if it doesn't seem like it's the right thing in the sight of others. So when we think about that with our marriage, when we are fearless and we're voting in our marriage, we're coming into the marriage and we're making decisions, fearless decisions, based on what God is telling us is right for our marriage, not what everybody else is doing, not what the trend is, not what's happening on TikTok. We are making our decisions based on our God-given knowledge and understanding of what is right for us and our marriage, because those decisions are going to affect so many other people years down the road.
So we vote when we ask our significant others to marry us. We vote when we say I do. We vote when we actually blend our accounts together. We vote when we decide on where we're going to live. We're voting all the time as a unit, and being fearless in that space makes a major difference to walk in that.
Absolutely. We've got Kenyon said unpack our baggage so we can be an impact in our marriage. That's their slogan. Unpack our baggage so we can be an impact in our marriage.
That's rhyming too.
I know, right?
Got a little bit of
baggage marriage.
I'm gonna have to vote to change Victoria and Alvin's from you and me against the world to what the words say.
That's their slogan.
What the words say.
What the words say. Exactly.
What the words say. And that's something you mentioned that, but that's what they're known for to us. And that's
Mhm.
when you talk about walking in unity and what people see, that we see that in them, and they represent that throughout their lives, which is
Yes.
what you should want to do. I think voting for unity, voting for togetherness, voting for oneness, so that people, when they see us, they can see. That couple always say, we got this. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
There was one couple that was actually at Eusebia, and they've got like this hand gesture thing going on when they've actually conquered something. They'll do like doom, 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 and then they'll do
Hold
something.
a handshake,
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
I saw it. I saw it.
You saw? I said, I need to get one of those.
Oh,
We
no.
need to get one of those. So
Yeah.
it was good. So
That's
shout
awesome.
out to Sony and Barbara.
Yeah.
Right?
That was encouraging. I was
That
like,
was
okay,
so
I gotta give me a
encouraging.
little bump and a do too.
Exactly. So we're going to go to the next question then, and we're going to talk about marriage polls, because oftentimes when we're voting, they'll do all of these marriage polls early on just to determine who may be in the lead and why they're in the lead and what the percentage points are as they're actually going through the lead. And then when it gets to that night, then it's like, did the polls actually come out the way that they thought that they would come out? So here's the question for the marriage polls. I want to hear from you all. If there were weekly polls in your marriage, how do you think the approval ratings would look? Because we get approval ratings now on current administration, current president, current governors, all of that. But what would the approval ratings look like?
Okay, repeat that again.
All right. So if there were weekly polls in your marriage, how do you think the approval ratings would look? And I would say, because if we're on a scale from 0 to 100, right, I would say for us.
Oh, I'm getting nervous now. What you got?
Well, I would never give ourselves 100.
Well, right,
I'm not going to do that because I know that sometimes we have intense fellowship, or we may miss something that, oh, I thought you had it. No, I thought you had it, or you're not listening to me. It's just little stuff like that that sometimes can kind of just creep into our conversations or our dailies. So I'm thinking that we would definitely fall between like an 85 to 90% rating.
Okay.
On a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis. Yes. I agree with that. And the reason because you should never give yourself 100, because you should be striving consistently. And then as you grow and things change, as we talked about in some of our previous podcasts, it was like what I desired at 25, I certainly don't desire at this wonderful age I am now that nobody needs to know right now. But it's okay. At this wonderful age, I may not desire those things. And so I'm voting I'm voting no on selfishness and voting yes to selflessness. So there are things that changes along the way. And I should never be at 100%, always striving to be better.
So you said that you would agree with our approval ratings between like
85 to 90%.
Getting there we can always strive to do better. And
yeah, you need to do better. And that's what it is. You need to... All right.
You need to strive, yeah.
All right, viewers out there.
I'm just kidding. I can't. You just left that door
approval?
open. I couldn't help but walk through it.
What was your approval
Oh, Carlos.
on a weekly poll? And we'll get Jocelyn and Calvin to see what they say first, and then we want to hear you guys put the comments in.
Yeah.
Yes. What would your approval rating be on a weekly basis? Go ahead, Calvin and Jocelyn, since I know what my challenge is.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Jocelyn, I'm gonna let Jocelyn give her percentage first, and then I'll come back and give mine. So what do you think our approval rating would be?
So I think our approval rating would vary each week.
Ooh.
I think it would vary each week because life be lifing. And some weeks some weeks you can see us and you'll be like, wow, they are really doing it. They a good couple. I like how they vibe. And then other weeks you see us and be like, ooh, something going on. Cause they they a little tart with each other or something. So I think it would vary from week to week. Because one thing I can say about Calvin and I is like we're not gonna get out in public and hoop and holler and yell and fuss, fight and argue and catch invisible things in the air. But we are also transparent to the point where if we're put in a situation where if somebody were to ask us at that point in time while we're dealing with something like, so what's going on with y'all, we gonna tell them. We gonna be like, look, this what happened. This is what's going on. I didn't appreciate it. Right now, I really don't feel like being around. And so we're gonna be like that. So I think for me, I would say it would vary. Our
Mm-hmm.
approval rating would vary.
Is that well, we had somebody put a comment in there, but as we show the comment, would that be looking at how do you actually become even more consistent in that so that your
Mm.
poll ratings can stay high?
Um, so I would say no, because if we're doing the polls every week, even if we think about, like the presidential polls and things like that, they vary depending on what's happening in the country and how the people are feeling at
Mm-hmm.
that time. Like if last week you could fill up your tank for $2.25 a gallon for premium, and you can go wherever you want to go, for $50, or the whole week,
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna be like, yeah, he's doing a bang up job. The approval ratings are gonna be high. But if the following week you got to pay $8 for eggs,
Mm.
then it's gonna be he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it really depends on what's happening in life at the time of the poll, because we are being consistent,
Mm-hmm.
but what the people see and how they're judging us for that approval might vary,
Mm-hmm.
because
But what about
those polls are going off perception.
I'm talking we're talking about how do you think the approval ratings will look in your marriage if it's just between you two?
Oh, okay. So if we were
Yeah.
rating ourselves,
Yeah, because I'm not looking at other people looking at your marriage. I'm looking at just you all and how you all are rating your marriage. What would the approval rating look like at that point? Because
oh,
if you're
okay.
saying things may change, it sounds like that you're able to weather some of those storms. So it's like, okay, I'm approving. This looks good for us because at least we're addressing it. We're being transparent. We're being honest. We're walking through that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I misunderstood. I thought you meant if approval
Other
ratings
people,
as in other people looking in and voting.
mm-mm,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
mm-mm.
But for us, I would say I would give us 70-75.
Okay.
Okay.
I was looking at 80 to 85, but when I think about the approval rating for Jocelyn, I think that's pretty consistent. That's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way her makeup is and what she does and how she has um
Are we individualizing it?
yeah, I'm doing both, baby.
Oh, okay. You do.
Yeah,
Okay.
you already misunderstood the test. First of all, now you trying to correct me. Now
That's
you
it.
trying to correct
No,
me
because
on the
I'm trying to
test.
figure out, did I answer it right?
Sometimes just how
I'm
we
still
do.
trying to figure out,
So
am I
that there
wrong?
goes that approval rating. Okay. So I was trying to give you a little, little plug, but you just messed that all up. So for the so for the
Just went down.
right, just went down. But for the
Good.
approval rating for us, I would say between 80 and 85,
Mhm.
Mhm.
because of how we have come together
Mhm.
throughout the years. We were just talking about some of the stuff in our when we're having our Bible study about some of the things that we've had challenges throughout the years on and how we've overcome those and how and where we are today.
Mm.
So starting out, our approval rating when we first got married was definitely lesser than what I've stated. But now on a consistently, I see it as 80 to 85.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and definitely, like you all stated, it's always room for growth.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and if we wanted to throw others in there, I think how people see us also plays a part into that approval rating because we're gonna sit back and we're gonna look at the Calvin and Jocelyn in the mirror and say, hey, what have we done for others? What how do not that it matters that much, but what do other people see or what impact we're making on and what kind of legacy we're leaving with other people?
But
And
it
I think
does
that
matter. It does
yeah,
matter.
It,
yeah, and I think that leaves I think that plays a part into that approval rating when people come and seek you out for advice. Um, they just don't do that because they just want they feel like, hey, I need a voice, but they're seeking you out when they see wisdom in your marriage. They want to understand and hear from wisdom.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
well,
right.
that's one reason why we chose Carlos and Catherine Green as our marriage mentors. Thank you very much.
uh-oh,
Yeah.
uh-oh.
That's scary.
Now,
Marriage ministry mentors. Yes, thank you.
yes. But one of the things that you all that's very important is that was Carlos was talking the internal that you and your spouse are discussing that so that if you're saying 75 and you're saying 85, let that allows us to talk about it. Let's have a discussion on,
Mhm.
well, how can I move up to 85 or what's causing me to think that we're at 75? Because the idea is do the internal work, what you do on it, and especially when you're doing if you're looking at it at election, they need to see your work all the time, inside and outside. And so who you
Mhm.
are, if you work on the inside, it's going to show on the outside. To me, that's what it
Yes.
is. So discussing how well what do we need to do to get to 80. If we're saying 80 to 85, we say, well, what does it take for us to get to 90? And again, I do agree, like it depends on what you're going through. Sometimes you may feel like you're at 75. However, you've done the work all along. It's just because the circumstances are there that's making you feel like that. But if you probably roll back your Rolodex, you say, no, it's just because I'm under this circumstance. I'm under distress. But if I use the tools and the things that we've already planted, I can see where we are. We're still at 85. It's just I'm feeling some type of pressure at this time. But I think it's a good discussion for couples.
Mm-hmm.
Go talk about that and then talk about what it takes for you all to get to the either 5% more or 10% more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I love this. One of the people that are viewing said that they asked, "Well, how long are the polls open?"
Oh,
Well,
yes.
Catherine said 24 hours a day. But I love
Yes.
what he says after that. He says, "Wifey, hubby, 85% communicating is up
Since
since
Baltimore.
Baltimore since you see."
Okay.
Oh, I love
Yes.
that.
I
I love
love
that.
that.
That is what it's all
Let's
about.
go. Yes.
What a
Okay.
2.5.
I love that.
We thought creating these types of I think interesting ways to look at marriage as we are looking at it through the election eyes will add some creativity into the
Right.
relationship instead of just asking how you feel and how you doing. What can this we want to challenge you all to talk about this. What's one of our next? Can we look at another question?
Yeah. So I'm going to go to the great debate.
Ooh, uh-oh.
The great debate. And so that was the question that we sent out in the emails. Like, how do you keep your debates from turning into battles?
Woohoo.
Because we often have these debates, or we call them intense fellowships. We have these debates about what's happening in our household or how we're perceiving things or how we speak about things, how we communicate. So with that, how do we keep the debate civil? How do we make sure that where voices are being heard and you as a person are being respected? at that point. So we do have one person already said, emotional intelligence.
Yes.
That emotional cue of understanding that it's not just about you, but just reading the room and feeling the other person and their feelings and taking that into consideration so that debate don't turn into a battle. I have more to say, but I want to hear from you all.
No, go ahead, because I'm not going to answer till I make sure I understand this question.
Well,
I don't want to be talking about the wrong thing, so y'all go first.
No, I would say for us, and this is just for us, how do we keep that? I love the open lines of communication, but then, just being in tune with our spiritual side, with God, and being in tune with using godly wisdom, and not the world's wisdom, because my worldly thinking will not be sound. But when I think about godly wisdom, he gives me the truth. He leads me into all truth, and then he gives me that pure mind and heart to be able to speak the language that I need to speak. And so that is what grounds me and how I determine, like, just not to go into that direction. And it can be intense fellowship, right?
It can be.
It
can be intense fellowship.
But I would say, just grounding myself in the word so he can bridle my tongue, because I try to remove myself from that, because if it's not going to edify or build up our relationship, saying things that words you can't really take back because they're in the atmosphere. And so being mindful to think about that, because I believe we have each other's best interests at heart. And so just taking a step back and it's using godly wisdom. That's where I approach it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I kind of take a similar stance, Katherine, because if it gets to the point where it's like a debate for us, then I try to remind myself what the scripture says, that we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against rulers of darkness in this world. Because a lot of times when it gets to that point, then there's something that's underlying that needs to really be dealt with. And a lot of times, whatever is underlying can be something that either the enemy has kept us from dealing with previously to keep it as a sensitive point or a sensitive topic, or it could be something that the enemy is using against us to keep a divide between us, to cause us to go into this, this debate / battle mode or whatever. And then my husband always likes to talk about grace. My grace is sufficient. That's also in our marriage, where we have to rely on grace for each other. So we do have a tendency to grace each other a lot when we get upset with each other, so that we can stay calm. Like when the scripture says my grace is sufficient, that's for me. That means his grace is sufficient for me to be able to grace him, so that I stay calm, I stay rational, that I instead of looking at him through my eyes of anger, resentment, or whatever, I look at him through the eyes of grace. And like, okay, what about this is he not understanding? How can I explain it better? How am I feeding into what he's seeing or how he's feeling? What do I need to change about myself to make this whole situation better? So I think I tend to do what you said, Katherine, and really lean on the word, but making it more about, okay, doing inward reflection to see how I have contributed to the debate, but also how I can then contribute to the peace.
Yeah. I know somebody's probably out there asking, like, well, do you immediately just go into God's word or dependent upon God when you are in a intense setting?
Well,
Um,
yeah.
I I won't say I immediately do, but I have always, well, I'm not gonna say always. Since I was younger and since Calvin and I have been married, my first response when I really get upset is to shut up.
Mm.
Mm.
So with
And it's not a shut up of an avoidance. We're not gonna talk about it at all. It's a shut up so I don't do no damage. Shut up.
okay.
Because I have hurt people very, very deeply with my words in the past. And so that I don't do that again, when I feel myself getting to that point,
That's good.
I just shut up. So he already knows if I'm quiet, leave me alone. Don't say nothing else to me. He knows we're gonna talk about it eventually, but don't keep saying it, because I need to be quiet.
Mhm.
Because if I say something right then and there, it's gonna cut deep,
Mm,
real deep.
Mm.
Like you gonna bleed out in the bed deep.
yeah,
Wow.
I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And the church said, "Amen."
For sure.
Uh,
What you Kelvin?
um, I was just thinking of some of the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5,
Mm.
where it says 5 and 7. It says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." So when you're having those intense fellowships, you want to show your spouse some mercy, and as Jocelyn stated, giving them grace
Mm-hmm.
and having that in setting that space and having that space to have that conversation, even if the conversation you can't have it right then, because like Jocelyn stated that once you put those words out in the atmosphere and you speak them, you can't take them back. You can apologize 50 times over.
Yeah.
But once they're out there, there's still going to have to be some healing and
Yeah.
mending that's going to need to take place. So what I usually do, I just get quiet.
Mm.
I
So
just get quiet and
Both
start
of y'all gonna have
meditating.
quiet.
Yeah,
both y'all
yeah.
retreat. Okay.
Well, I don't call it retreat because retreat is a marine. Is we as Marines
Oh,
don't retreat.
okay. Tell me a little bit
We
about.
we we just stand and regroup.
Mm,
Mm. I
okay.
like it. I
Regroup.
like
Okay, so
I,
it's no retreating.
mm,
So yeah, it's funny. I won't digress, but even on the tennis court last night, there was a conversation about that retreat thing. Um, and so the next one is 5 and 9. Blessed are the peacemaker.
mm,
wow.
5 and 9. Blessed are the peacemaker, for
mm,
they will be called children of God.
Mm-hmm.
And so the bottom line is that we want to be pleasing to God.
mhm,
We can please each other, but if we please God, automatically that will have a ripple effect that we will be pleasing each other and we will be serving each other according to the scriptures and the way God says.
mhm,
Wow.
So
mm,
not speaking out of turn, not speaking when we're angry, will allow us to just have a woosah moment and hear from God. And in that quiet time, so when we talk about retreating, that quiet time is not just sitting there and just pondering, but giving us quiet time to even pray and listen to God and hear
Yeah.
from God.
That's yeah, that's my thing is when I get that upset, I know not to talk. Um, I know I will talk eventually. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I retreat,
mhm,
but I s- I will stand in position
mhm.
to pray and seek the Lord to get me right and ready for the next step.
So it's
Got
regrouping. Yeah.
regroup
Yeah,
and not retreat.
Regroup.
Okay.
Yes.
I can receive
I
that.
believe that. Yeah.
I can
And so
receive
you
that.
guys feel like that practice has really helped
Mm,
you all, that both of you all you all will regroup and then come back together and have that conversation. And so it allows you all to resolve those issues
mm,
in more of a unified space
Mhm.
instead of tit for tat going back and forth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
mhm,
Because I know when we first got married, we both because of us, being products of divorce, we were like, we weren't gonna have no secrets. We was gonna always be open and honest and tell each other everything, and this and this and that. And so we thought that meant, when we were in the heat of the moment, that okay, well, we got to keep it 100, and we're gonna talk about this right now. We're gonna settle this right now, and that's where a lot of pain came in because
Mm.
we weren't thinking things through. We were reacting and we weren't responding. And so because we were being so reactionary,
Good.
it just like when you got some baking soda and you drop some vinegar on it, you get a reaction. You don't necessarily get a response, but you get that reaction.
Mhm.
It doesn't have a chance to really respond and do what, because people are so focused on the reaction of it. And so we had to learn it's okay to agree, okay, we're gonna take a time out. Don't say nothing to me right now. We're gonna take a time out and we're gonna talk about this later.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then we get ourselves together so that there's less damage, that's done when we do that.
Because you're not trying to hurt the other person.
Mhm.
Exactly.
You're really just trying to make sure that there's clarity in the conversation and how you all are moving forward and trying to process
Mhm.
through what some
Yep.
of those challenging situations or issues may
Mhm.
come up that's causing the issue in the relationship. So I
Yeah.
love you all don't retreat, but that you all really just make sure that you are what do you call
Regroup.
it? You're
Regroup.
regrouping.
Regrouping.
You're
Mhm.
regrouping and then coming back to the table.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have a sound mind. We had someone on here that said, the Bible states to be quick
Yep.
to listen, slow to speak, and slow
Mhm.
to become
Become angry.
angry. And
Right.
that,
Yeah.
again, it's going back to that word. Everything we need is definitely in the word to help us with whatever emotions or situation or crisis or intense fellowship that we're going through. It is there in the word to help us to navigate this in our relationship.
And I would just say in those debates, when we go and take a look at the debates that are actually happening, and sometimes when you have those debates, there are within the same parties, and they say these things about each other, and then they end up having to work together and all of that, and it's just like, I don't know if I could be that kind of politician to where I'm going to say something that will question your character
Mm,
Mhm.
in that space like that because I'm trying to get the vote. I'm trying to get the popular.
Right.
So even in my marriage, I'm not going to say anything out of character to Catherine because I got to win.
mm,
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
Either one of us will win
mm,
in that space because I believe that we're on the same team.
Right.
We're
Exactly.
we're attacking the issue at
yes.
hand,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love what
Yeah.
Honor said. Great self-awareness, Jocelyn.
Uh,
That's where growth happens.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they were actually the primary reason that we did that self-evaluation to look at our process, because I remember they said to us one time, when I forgot what I think we were out with them at dinner or something, and they said to us, they were like, y'all just talk to each other any kind of way. Y'all say anything to each other. And for us, we thought like, that's good because we keeping it 100. We being real with each other, not realizing that there is still a way to be real with each other, but to do it in a right way, a way that's discreet, a way that is empathetic and compassionate. So by them saying that caused us to kind of be like, okay, well maybe we need to reevaluate how we coming at each other, you
Regroup.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to regroup.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing
Thank you,
too, when we're
Calvin.
talking about the debates with election, a lot of times, especially nowadays, when there is a debate, um, a question is asked, but the answer to that question is never given because
Yes.
the person is always trying to prove their point or
Mm-hmm.
prove something wrong
They
about
set
their
agenda.
opponent.
or
So a
don't
lot
want
of
to
times,
address the issue.
so a lot of times that happens in our marriages where when we
Mm,
start, our intense fellowship, the question that has been asked is never answered because, well, you did this and you did that. And remember the time when I did this? And we go into all of these other things and we never address the question at hand or deal with the real true issue at hand. And
Because that
so with those types of debates, nobody really wins, especially not the voter, because they still don't know and understand what the person stands for.
mhm,
So
exactly.
in your marriage, if you're never addressing the questions that are being asked, if you're always finding ways to avoid what's being asked or to prove your point
mhm.
or to prove somebody else wrong, you're never really dealing with the things that need to be dealt with so that you can grow.
I vote for you, Jocelyn. That was
That was so good.
oh, that was so
Yeah,
good.
That was
That
really
was
good.
real. That was
that
real.
was on time right there.
Mm,
Yes.
yeah. But we're out here asking this question, how do you keep your debates from turning into battles? And we just heard the response from JJ. We've heard from Calvin, and I don't think we've heard from you, Mr. Green.
Well, I only said that we're on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're doing the debate, it's not that we are trying to debate and win against each other.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually trying to resolve the issue at hand. And so I want you to express what you feel. I want
Mm-hmm.
to express what I feel in a respectful manner,
Yeah.
just so that we can get to the bottom of it and not gloss over it or not address the issue or the question, just kind of like let it linger out there and it's sitting in your living room and you never saying it's like it's here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have that conversation, whether it be finances, whether it be relational, whether it be our families, it's whatever it is. Let's go ahead and address it so that we can both win.
Yes, we are all about winning in our marriages. And that's why we do popcorn conversations, just to have dialogue around issues, and whether it's celebrations or it's issues or challenges that you have. We want to have this dialogue,
Mhm.
and we love the interaction and engagement that we have from you all sharing your thoughts and your experiences. So keep them coming. Keep them coming.
All right, here's the last question that we have. We have probably like 10 questions, but we only got this is the fourth question for tonight.
Okay.
Last one.
Final
How
one.
do you campaign
Oh,
for healthy marriage in your community or among other couples? How do you campaign for healthy marriage in your community or among other couples? I love this. Okay, so before we get into that, we had one person actually mention the rain.
Rain technique.
it
Mhm.
came in my mind too.
I
What?
remember that.
I'm so glad he
Oh my
said it.
God.
Tell people who have not viewed it before, tell them what the rain method is, Carla.
I love that. So the rain technique is just the process that we go through when we're having these intense fellowships, or as we call them, debates, just to make sure that we're getting or addressing the issue. So the rain is an acrostic, not acrostic. It is a
Acronym.
acronym
Mm-hmm.
for R being respecting
Mm-hmm.
one another
Mm-hmm.
and the value that they actually bring to the table. The A is acknowledge the situation and be accepting of what they have to say for you. And then the I means that you stay issue focused. Stay issue focused on the issue at hand. And then the N stands for no noise. No noise, so that you are very selective about the people that you bring into situations, especially when they're highly debatable at that point. So Alan, thank you for that
Thank
rain.
you. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you.
That's good. All right. So that's good. And then one other thing that Dahlia said, remembering that Harold is also God's child helps me. The Lord is not pleased with me to mistreat his child.
Oh, that's
Yes.
Really good. So she's actually seeing her husband through God's eye.
Mhm.
And I love that,
Mhm.
because if we can do that, that really softens the way that we approach those situations.
Yes.
Oh,
Good. Thank you for sharing
oh
that.
my God,
We
that's so
only have a
good.
few minutes
I
before. I
know.
guess you want to.
This
you,
is this is tender for me.
yeah, I know, right?
It really is. I think JJ and Calvin started that. Okay. So how do you campaign
Mm,
for healthy marriages in your community or among other couples?
mm,
How do you do that?
I think what we both have done, we both are mentoring other couples.
mm.
And I'm not putting Jocelyn and I on the same level as Catherine and Carlos Green with Power Couples Rock by no means. Just let you know, because they a power couple. Lord Jesus, help me, Holy Ghost.
That rock.
Um,
We all are a power
they're
couple.
rocks.
Yes, they're rock.
And they're rocks. They're rocks on a solid foundation.
Yes.
Anyway, that didn't make, yeah. But anyway, in building the community, and we both were blessed to be founders of Marriage Ministries,
Mm,
and helping and bridging that gap of where the community is not doing as such. Churches aren't actively participating in marriage ministries. So in doing that, I think that really help us um, with other couples in the community
Mm,
and
mm.
helping them to grow. And of course, going to your events like Eusebia 1000 Live,
mm,
bringing like-minded people together, building and also what was building your community,
Oh, yeah.
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 Mhm,
extending your community outside of your four walls,
yeah.
and
Mm,
having a fellowship of people, of couples that are striving to be to do what God says say do in their marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely agree with
what
that.
would you think?
I would say definitely our marriage ministry, but definitely community is huge on our, I guess, one of our pillars and what we stand for. And so whether we do that in our home, we've had workshops, retreats, seminars, we've had master classes. We're like doing the work to bring couples together, to provide them with tools and resources to help them create a vision and mission, values, and their branding for
Yeah,
their relationship,
that's right.
because we want them to be able to leave a legacy, not just for themselves, but for the next generation and the next generation. And so we're doing the work to create those communities wherever we can, whether it's online or in person. And I just believe we'll attend retreats ourselves and create those communities. So that's how we campaign to say power couples rock. And the reason why power couples rock is because we like to create pathways for couples to have the resources and the network and to get together so that we can be strong and leave the legacy that we've been called to leave for the next generation.
Mhm.
Amen.
I get really excited. Thank you. That was
Thank
so
you.
good. All right. So let me before I say mine, let's put up Dr. Kenyon, what he says. I love it.
Mhm.
A wealthy marriage. And to campaign, we must lead by example. The community will follow through the ships, fellowship, mentorship, relationship. Use all platforms. Hubby University with our youth, which I think is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Yes.
Get
And
on
Yes.
the ships now. I love
get on the ships. I love that.
Yes.
Right? That's good stuff.
That's well said right there.
That's very well said. And I think for me, I've always had the heart that I love seeing one, a healthy man
Mm,
in the way being spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically ready to go and ready to lead. And then I love
Mhm.
healthy relationships. So I'm going to go all in
mhm,
when I meet a couple and we're connecting and they want to glean or they want to be a part of the community. It's not just so that we can have fun. It's so that we can build a community
Right.
that holds each other accountable and we can
right.
learn and grow from each other.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's good stuff, you all. Well, it's hard to believe that we are
It's
down
already.
to our hour. I thought we'd be done like in 30 to 40 minutes, but this has been very good conversation. We just want to thank you for following us. Thank you for your comments in the chat. And remember, we're here every Tuesday night for Popcorn Conversation, where we're popping out the questions, one pop at a time.
Yes.
If there's something you want to discuss, you can email us at admin@powercouplesrock.com. Tell us some subjects that you want to talk about, and we'll make sure we get it on the show. But until then, in between time, in what does it say? In the meantime,
in between time.
Let's get what?
Power
up! We love you all.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Peace out.
Live life on 10.
Oh.